flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar during Advanced Hair's best offer ever. The summer sales event is on for a limited time, so schedule your free consultation and get the details today. 720-459-HAIR. One-day treatment, life-changing results with Advanced Hair. Your new hair is guaranteed to grow. Check out the incredible before and afters and get your savings details while still available. That's 720-459-HAIR. or advancedhair.com.
Robbie Dino here at beattheDA.com. I've handled over 7,000 cases, 300 trials. Let's face it, divorce is really impactful. You may have a controlling spouse. You may have a violent spouse. You may have been a victim of a domestic violence. You may be wrongfully accused of domestic violence. This all affects parenting rights. And let's face it, the kids are the most important. These are the things that need to be handled. They need to be handled appropriately by someone that's going to protect your kids and protect your rights. Hit me up at beattheDA.com, 720-706-5151.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
This is Carla Hall for Eggland's Best. Whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, make sure you're choosing wholesome ingredients like Eggland's Best eggs to plus up your nutrition. With more than 6 times the vitamin D and double the omega-3s and vitamin B12 compared to ordinary eggs, Eggland's Best supports a healthy lifestyle. Available in so many delicious varieties: classic, cage-free, organic, free-range, and pasture-raised. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs. Visit egglandsbest.com to learn more.
Your air duct cleaning experts, Ductworks.
Hey guys, Mark Schlereth here from my friends at Ductworks. You know summer's around the corner, and what does that mean? That means your air conditioner is going to be blowing 24/7. And you know what that means? That means dust and debris in the air. Hey, you clean your floors, you clean your counters, you clean your closets, but what about your air? Ductworks is Colorado's top-rated air cleaning company, trusted by thousands of 5-star reviews, and they're recommended by more contractors than anybody else. Their complete ventilation cleaning package scrapes and vacuums every inch of your system, removing all the dirt and debris that other companies leave behind. Before your AC runs all season long, make sure the air you're breathing is clean. Go to ductworks.com or just call them at 303-425-0985.
303-425-0985.
Welcome to Whatever Bank. How may I barely help you today?
Hi, is there an option to open a checking account with no monthly fees?
0 monthly fees? I'm afraid not. Just think of the fee as a subscription to your own money.
You don't have to bank like that. Make the switch to Key Bank to open a Key Smart checking account with no monthly maintenance fees.
Ooh, I like that.
Learn more at key.com/keysmartchecking. Key Bank opens doors. Key Bank, member FDIC.
Brought to you by Common Spirit Health. Hospitals, clinics, and caregivers all connected to advanced healthcare with human kindness in Colorado, Kansas, and Utah. Common Spirit Health. Human kindness lives here.
KKFN and KKFN HD1 Longmont, Denver. Powered by Regen RX. It's The Drive with Zach By and Philip Lindsay. Welcome to Denver Sports Tonight. Taking a look at the biggest stories in Denver sports. From your online home for the best opinions and information on the Broncos, Nuggets, Avalanche, Rockies, and more. DenverSports.com.
There you go, Denver Sports Tonight. Marcello Romano, Dante Gomez. Every Tuesday, he's known as the Mez. We got you for the next hour, and hopefully something, entertaining or exciting happens, because we've been thinking and speculating and talking about all these different options with your Denver Nuggets, and even the offseason, the short offseason that the Avalanche have had as well. So we'll spend some time on that. Definitely we'll get into a little bit of the Broncos as well. But I want to start there, Dante, with everything that's broke of late. The report, which, by the way, it was calculated. The Mark Stein report, like when it happened, how it happened, like just the timing of it, like we're not naive enough to believe that there wasn't some kind of calculation behind that. And I know it's just a report that Nikola Jokic is thinking about not signing that extension, but I think it was also something that was, I'm going to light a fire, and I'll utilize whatever resource I have to. And we're kind of all thinking, wow, damn, it's the first time he's really done that. What's the organization going to do? And we're still just, we waiting. We're chilling. Tim Hardaway Jr.'s gone. I mean, I know they offered to Spencer Jones and Payton Watson. We'll have to see how those things play out. But there's the big thing that's out there is, could they acquire Jaylen Brown? And would you like a move like that? So let me start off with what we know. I think that was calculated by Nikola Jokic and his team to get that out there. And two, the Jaylen Brown, I think, is probably a real possibility. I don't know if it ends up happening or not. And finally, three, the one that we really do know is Tim Hardaway Jr. is like, nah, I'm cool. I'm going to go down to – he's taking his talents to South Beach. Dante, what do you think about that?
Good for Tim Hardaway Jr. getting paid. I think it's $6.5 million for the year.
Yeah.
No tax down there in Miami as well. Good for him. But I think he's going to be a great fit too. You already have one of the better guys at creating offense in terms of Giannis Antetokounmpo driving to the hoop, having the defense collapse and kicking out. I mean, who better to kick out? Denver saw it all last year than to Tim Hardaway Jr.
Yeah.
Absolute lethal three-point shooter. So team-friendly deal of some sort, but he's still getting more than what he got last year here in Denver. So I think he's going to be a great fit in Miami. It's unfortunate that the Nuggets weren't able to keep him here in Denver and employ him and have that three-point specialist coming off the bench. He was one of the better bench players in the NBA last year. So the Nuggets kind of got away with the steal in terms of the contract that they had him on last year. So best wishes to him in Miami. I think he's going to absolutely kill it down there. But yeah, it leaves the Nuggets looking for who is going to be that scoring option off the bench for them. Maybe it's somebody like Julian Strawther that just steps up and plays a bigger role. Maybe they're looking for Bogdan Bogdanovic on a vet minimum kind of deal. So a couple different options there, but we knew Tim Hardaway Jr. was a elite three-point shooter. I think it's still a question mark of sorts depending on who fills that role there. And then going back to the Jokic, absolutely, it was a message to the front office saying, hey, I'm not sure I'm going to sign this. I still believe he will sign the contract extension here, but at least light a fire under the front office and the ownership to – there is no gap year. There is no that idea had been floated out around in Denver. He's not going for it, doesn't feel like.
No, not at all.
And I wouldn't either. I don't blame him at all. What are we talking about, a gap year when I'm in the prime of my career? I just finished second for MVP. I've been a top 2 MVP candidate the last 5 years, maybe 6 years. I might have that wrong there.
I think it's 6, to be honest with you.
6 years. So he's like, no. What are we talking about, a gap year here? We need to go out and compete for championships. I already have one.
What does that mean to you then? With what is out there with the landscape, because it's not like they have all kinds of flexibility or options. What's the most intriguing one to you? And I'll even throw out the idea of running it back. I was listening when I was driving in here this evening, and Zach said maybe they'll go into the second apron and win 55 games, which kind of caught me off guard. It's like 55 games, we won 54 this year with an injury-riddled team. So, like, you have to keep that option available to you as far as running it back with a lot of the same cast and crew. I think the reality behind that is they weren't good, and I guess we really don't know how good they could have been because we didn't see a large enough sample size of them all together playing healthy. So that's one of the areas that you have to – that's still an avenue they could go down. You go down the other avenue of whatever you got to do, clear out room so that you can just keep Payton Watson and maybe some other stuff happens. Or are you interested in Jaylen Brown? Which one's the most intriguing to you, and which is the most likely to get them to be most competitive when we kick off the 2026-2027 NBA season?
I think Jaylen Brown would be great, and it sounds like his market price is going down by the day, and Boston's not getting the trade value that they're looking for. But at this point, it feels like that relationship is pretty fractured between Boston and Jaylen Brown. So I would be surprised if he's in a Celtics uniform come the start of the year. It feels like it's almost inevitable that he will be on a different team.
I don't think you can repair that now.
I don't think the relationship is repairable either. I'm right there with you. So if you can be the highest bidder on something that's going under the value, I think the Nuggets can be that team. It'll probably involve guys like Jamal Murray or Aaron Gordon or Cam Johnson included in that trade. If they have any first-round draft picks that they're able to trade, or whatever draft assets they are able to include in that as well. So I think that Jaylen Brown would be a great fit here in Denver. I mean, I saw a video the other day talking about the Nuggets and why it doesn't make sense, and the reasoning given was the Nuggets' biggest flaw was shooting and ball handling, and I would argue not at all. That the Nuggets' offense was perfectly fine last year. They were the best in the NBA last year. The Nuggets need to worry about defense. They need to worry about athleticism, length, the want to on defense. I think Jaylen Brown checks every single one of those boxes, as well as being an offensive producer, and to the same level, if not better, as Jamal Murray. So I think offensively he checks your boxes. I think defensively he definitely checks your boxes.
That's what I don't get. And there's a lot of guys on this station that have said, and they've been very critical of Jamal Murray in his tenure as a Nugget, and they've all been very defensive over him, over just if that's a piece that you have to get rid of to acquire a guy like Jaylen Brown. I don't know the likelihood of it at all. I do know that if you're looking around the landscape of the NBA, there are teams that are moving and shaking. All right, you got the first big domino last week with Giannis going down to Miami. You got the big news earlier today that LeBron James said he's not taking his talents back to Hollywood. He's probably going to go north up the road. And
I don't think that was LeBron's decision, by the way.
To go?
Yeah.
Really?
I think the Lakers it's like the mutually parting ways. I think the Lakers didn't want him back for a high enough price tag, and they're like, hey, but we'll let you break the news and be the one in command of this news. I don't think that was fully
I guess it depends on who you believe from the reporting side of it, right? Like, because we know Brian Windhorst has covered LeBron James for years, taking him back to Cleveland in that championship 10 years ago. What I heard from him this week on Get Up on ESPN was the Lakers had been reaching out, like calling him, hey, let's get this meeting on the books. Let's go. And LeBron James was busy working on his golf game and busy celebrating the 10-year anniversary from the championship in which they beat Golden State. I don't know that – I don't want to – I guess I'd be – I don't think it was – I think it was probably more him than the organization.
I don't think the organization wanted to give him a big contract either way, but I think
what
the
would
Warriors –
be the big sticking point, though? Because for me, it's he doesn't want to play second fiddle, and they're clearly going –
well, he's going to be second fiddle in Golden State.
Yeah, but
and
they're
that's where everyone
similar
kind
in
of
age,
assumes.
right? He doesn't have to deal with the young pup getting all the love like Luka's going to get
I think it was
Los
a money
Angeles.
thing. I don't think they were going to give him the kind of money that he's looking for, and I think they're just ready to move on to a new chapter of Lakers basketball, new ownership in the building. Obviously, Luka is their main attraction at this point, and I don't think Luka and LeBron's game necessarily complement each other in the way that the Lakers want it to be. So I think they're just ready to move on to the next page, get defensive-minded guys around Luka, get shooters around Luka, and have Luka be the ball-dominant guy, not kind of have to split that role and play to egos a little bit. Like, oh, no, LeBron, you're still important to us. You're just not as important to us as Luka.
Which one of those teams with LeBron is closer to a championship? And I'm not saying either one of them are really particularly close, but if you have Golden State with an aging Steph Curry, I don't know what's going to happen with Draymond. I know he opted out of a deal, right?
He did, but I believe that's so they could sign
exactly.
LeBron James.
But he's aging as well, so it kind of reminds me of that Lakers team that had like Karl Malone and Gary Payton and some of these old guys that were chasing championships at that point. And I don't know. I don't think it doesn't strike a ton of fear in me the way that it used to. Would you have been interested in having him here?
LeBron James?
Yeah.
He doesn't really fit what the Nuggets need, and I just kind of portrayed what the Nuggets need in terms of defensive guys, athleticism, shooters are all obviously always nice to have as well, but they need the length in the defense. I don't think LeBron James at age 40, 41 wants to lock in on defense for long periods of time. So I think he would have made the team better here, but I think his talents are going to be better suited for Golden State. I'm excited to see Golden State. If he ends up going there, I've kind of had my eye on them as LeBron destination for like a year or two now, and Steph Curry still, to me, commands, I think, probably top 5 in terms of the defensive presence you need to have to make sure to contain Steph Curry.
Yeah.
I think he's still top 5 in terms of that, where the game plan is centered around, hey, we are stopping Steph Curry. You are going to chase him around everywhere he goes. There's not many guys like that in the NBA. Steph Curry's still one of those guys, and you have LeBron James playing off of that. The kind of team first Draymond Green as well there. Jimmy Butler is a great player defensively and offensively as well. So I think Golden State's going to be exciting.
You think Jimmy Butler stays there?
Well, he's under contract, so unless
do
they're
you
trading
think they're
him.
going to try and move him?
I mean, it would make sense. You don't really need another
the problem
wing
with Golden
there.
State is they're all just they're a little bit not a little bit. LeBron's old. I mean, but he's still in phenomenal shape. But there's a problem with that is Steph Curry hasn't been ineffective lately because he's gotten worse at basketball. It's his body's betrayed him a little bit. Like injuries are taking longer to recover from, and he's always kind of had little nagging things. I remember early in his career he had problems with the ankles before he really broke out. But that's the type of stuff when you get older, you just can't rebound from as quickly.
No, age definitely plays a part in that, but to me, his inability to win as many games as he was earlier has to do with the surrounding crew around him and not having somebody to take that pressure off of him the way LeBron James is definitely going to be able to take that pressure off of him. You'll be able to put Steph Curry off the ball more. I think it makes a lot of sense offensively.
So which avenue do the Nuggets roll down? Is it the roll it back avenue?
I think most likely it is the roll it back avenue.
Can you make a case that they can be competitive or compete for a championship if it's very similar to what we saw this year? And I think that's tough for us because of the way that it finished, Dante, and we never got to see this whole crew play together healthy. I mean, it was like a dozen games, maybe 15 games out of the year where everybody, all the ammo that you wanted, it was available to you because you had Payton Watson miss over a month. You had Christian Brown miss over a month. You had Nikola Jokic miss about a month. You had Aaron Gordon miss a ton of time. There was Cam Johnson miss time. So I do kind of get that, and it's hard for us to kind of rebound from what happened this season. But, yeah, they did win 54 games. There is a reason that they thought they were going to bring back David Adelman because of what he was able to do. And now we find out about the babysitter that they're looking for as well. So that's one of those avenues. I don't think Nuggets Nation would be happy with that. And I also don't think Nikola Jokic would be.
In terms of running it back?
Yep.
I think he'd be more happy with that than losing Peyton Watson or losing one of the guys that was on this team last year. This was a very competitive team, and to me, injuries have played a role in the NBA champion for, I don't know, I would say 80% of the years in the last 10 years, 8 out of the last 10. This year it was Jalen Williams not being able to go for the Thunder. A year ago, you could say Aaron Gordon not being able to play against the Thunder in that series. So injuries always play a role. The Nuggets have been on the wrong side of those injuries the last 2 years here, especially this last year, 2026. So I think if they're on the right side of injuries, let's say Wemby goes down, I think the West is wide open again. Jalen Williams has more issues with his hamstring maybe. I think the Nuggets could be that next team in line, so I'm not going to rule them out for competing for an NBA championship. They might just need a little bit of injury luck this year compared to the opposite, where they've been snake bitten the last couple of years here.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I don't think that I don't think the front office can stand pat this offseason either. I think there's got to be some kind of a move, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we hope and think that all these things are going to happen, and then it's just going to be kind of a big, I mean, we'll run it back. I think it's tough to have those conversations, and if you are really if there's real smoke to the Jaylen Brown type of deal, and it doesn't work, like say you swing and miss, then you got to repair those relationships with the players that were mentioned of being let go to bring a guy like that here. If you ask Nikola Jokic, who's the one dude you need back on this team, who would he say?
That's a good question. Probably Aaron Gordon.
You think more so than Jamal Murray?
I do. I think he likes Aaron Gordon more. They have a special bond, it feels like, the chemistry that they have on the court. Obviously, the injuries play a role in that too, but it's hard for me to say Aaron Gordon's not Nikola Jokic's best on-court chemistry teammate.
Because the reason I ask you the question, dude, is like if you're going to now allow Nikola Jokic to kind of be in on some of these big decisions, would it be silly for them to not include him if they're going to make some kind of crazy move? I think it would still go back to Jamal Murray, their chemistry. Now I know I'm not saying
he was looking at it pretty frustrated in Game 6 last year when Jamal Murray couldn't score. I don't think he got to 20 points in that game. And it's like, hey, dude,
I took like 4 threes, I think, too. Like that, you didn't even really participate at all. But there was plenty of finger pointing that could have gone around after that game.
That's fair, but I think Jokic at some point's like, dude, you're the other guy making as much money as me, and this is the kind of performances we're getting in the playoffs. If I was Jokic, I'd be very frustrated with Jamal Murray at this point.
Yeah, but he's been such a dog in the postseason before. What he did...
He was bad last year, too, against the Thunder.
Dude,
and then guess what? The year before that, he was bad against Minnesota. That's 3 straight postseasons where he's not been good, Cello.
That same year...
Dog water.
Oh, no, not at all, man. And he's made some of the biggest shots in Nuggets history in the postseason. And, yeah, like this past season, I'm not going to argue with this past season. He had his best regular season that he's had his entire career, and then it kind of flipped on its head. And when we normally see him perform at a higher level in the postseason, was it last year that he was kind of banged up or the year before?
I don't know. Everyone always makes excuses for him. It was, Minnesota's a bad matchup for him this year. Oh, last year, the Thunder are a bad matchup for him. The year before that, Minnesota's a bad matchup for him. Guess what? If the other team has good defensive guards, it's a bad matchup for Jamal Murray all of a sudden. You don't get paid the amount of money Jamal Murray does on a max contract.
So you want him gone.
I think running it back, you're still a contender, but no, I don't think he's... I think he's one of the lesser players to be on a max contract in the NBA, yes.
Wow.
Especially compared to guys he gets compared to. He's not Donovan Mitchell. He's not Devin Booker. He's not even in those guys' tier.
I know why you said Booker, because that's your dude. And you're a son.
I said Booker because Booker was the best player on an NBA Finals team. Jamal Murray's never done anything close to that.
Best player on an NBA Finals team?
Yeah.
That lost?
Yeah.
That's like a win horse thing. That was the most competitive sweep we've ever seen.
So now winning the West is in something you congratulate? Or Donovan Mitchell going to the Eastern Conference Finals and putting
the
up...
best player in that finals was Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Yeah, well, I didn't say that it wasn't. He absolutely balled out, but that's a different argument. Devin Booker's at least been the best player on teams that have gone to the playoffs. Jamal Murray's never shown me anything comparable to that. He's been a Robin the entire time he's been successful in the NBA.
Well, I'm one of the guys that I defend Jamal Murray more than most. I go back to what LeBron James said about him. It was after a postseason. This was before Redick became his coach. I think it was on like the JJ Redick podcast. And LeBron James was asked about the Nuggets, and he said, "Listen, you got to give Jokic all the credit in the world, but you want to know who else is a real bleep? Is Jamal Murray. He's a killer, man. And normally you see that in the postseason. We did not see that in the postseason this year, and he's not the only one who didn't show out. Like that's the most frustrating part about if you're going to make the decision, like, hey, let's go ahead and run it back because of where we are with the financial constraints and how little flexibility we actually have. That's the thing I'll go back to. There was no fight, and this goes back to Nikola Jokic as well. I mean, like that didn't play a lick of defense in that series. You got guys that are, a foot shorter than you, just rolling down the lane. You're not even going to contest at all. Like, there's areas where he can improve as well. That team needs a bit of a shakeup. That's why I thought you would have got it with a head coach. I thought that would have been the easiest move. Make that move then, and now all of a sudden we're hearing about them interviewing people in the background to be like a consultant. Listen, when you hire consultants, they take over. I've been at 2 companies where people are like, oh, these are consultants. They're just seeing how we can, improve our inefficiencies and how we can be more effective and be smarter. Within 3 months, they had a job at that company now calling all the shots. That's exactly what this babysitter would be, because you're going to run into a wall and they're going to go, well, we already have a plan right here. That consultant's going to become the head coach. And I think that's a problem because you should have probably taken some more time, Dante, and really kind of assess the whole situation. Because what it tells me is you reacted early and you thought you were comfortable with keeping the coach. And then as time has gone by, you're like, phew, you got a little buyer's remorse, and you're not going to fire him after you endorsed him a month ago, right?
No, at this point, it's way too late.
So now you're going to go bring in his replacement, and that just makes David Adelman's job that much more difficult, in my opinion. What do you think?
No, I mean, it absolutely does, but David Adelman, we haven't gotten to that, I guess now we are, but David Adelman being the head coach here also, I think, limits the ceiling of this team. I think he's more that James Merrill, I think, has coined the phrase, he's the passenger. He's not exactly driving the bus, but yeah, he's along for the ride, and he's going to be maybe a good vibes guy, but I don't think this Nuggets team needs a good vibes guy. They need someone that's going to give them a little kick in the butt, and David Adelman, to me, is not that guy.
No, like he leaves it woefully short. And I'm not trying to be personal about it, but we didn't see anything game to game, quarter to quarter. Like normally when your team's getting kind of punked in the fashion that they were, how many times you hear Phil Jackson come out and lay out, like Mike Brown did it for the Knicks after they got beat in the finals. Like, man, they're playing super physical. We didn't see any of that. Like, let's lobby like towards the officiating, see if we can get some changes there. None of that was happening. And I think you didn't do an extensive enough search after he took over with 3 games left last year, and the team was good enough to make a little decent run into the postseason. But that didn't warrant. I think at that point you still should have done a deeper search to try and find the right guys, because I agree with you. As long as he's the head guy, I don't see championship. It doesn't pass the confetti test to me.
No, you would have to be far and away the better team in every single series you go into. I don't think he's the kind of guy that elevates this team to a new level to overcome a team where it's like, hey, our backs are against the wall, but we got David Adelman drawing up the plays. That's not too inspiring on my end, the way Mike Brown was able to overcome the Spurs, and they were underdogs in that series. I think they were the better team in the series, and obviously that showed out with them winning in 5, but I don't think David Adelman is the guy that's going to be able to lead an underdog team over a better team. And that's what we've seen so far. When they go up against better teams, the Thunder from 2 years ago, they lost. When they go up, it wasn't even a better team this year. Minnesota was arguably a worse team than the Denver Nuggets, and they still lost. So I don't think he's a floor raiser.
No, I agree with you. And we were on the air. Like, I was coming in to do this show with you, Denver Sports Tonight, when we found out, oh, by the way, Ayo Dosunmu's not going to play either. So, like, we have basically a YMCA game breaking out in Minnesota that we thought, oh, automatically, you should come back and get a Game 7 and then maybe be able to extend your playoff lives. None of that happened. You got punked by a bunch of bench players, man. Like, so the injury thing, while we use it as part of the reasoning why they weren't as successful as we thought they were going to be, tell me someone that was a team that was faced with more adversity in one series as far as injuries are concerned than the Minnesota Timberwolves last year. You lose Dante DiVincenzo. There's no chance of him coming back. You didn't have Anthony Edwards for a large portion of that series, and that wasn't looking like he was going to be able to come back. Now, I know he did come back to go against the Spurs. And then Dosunmu, who the Nuggets, he can thank the Nuggets for getting that guy a bag of cash, because that wasn't a household name going into that series, and now he is. How you didn't get past that is why you can't run it back. You just can't. Like, if you're not going to change the coach, you can't run it back with the same amount of players, because we didn't see enough fight when it mattered the most. And, dude, you're just wasting legitimate legacy years for Nikola Jokic. And you have to have him if you're him. Right? If you want to be considered in that great, all-time great discussion, especially the NBA, you can't just win one. You need probably 2, 3, 4, to be honest with you, of all the talent that is in that discussion right now.
You at least need to get to 2, because I will say the modern era of NBA, nobody has 2 in terms of after Steph, after LeBron. It's been the Celtics. They got their one. The Thunder got their one. The Knicks just got their one. The Nuggets got their one. The Bucks got their one. So it's kind of a race to see which one of these elite guys is going to get their second ring the first. And I think Giannis might be in a better position than Nikola Jokic is currently to get that done. Boston could potentially be in a better position than the Denver Nuggets are to get that second one too. So I think that the Nuggets are at least in a race to make sure they get that second title for Jokic. I just don't see it happening with David Allen as the coach or with Jamal Murray as his sidekick.
And with that, we will get to a quick break. When we come back, we'll dive into some Broncos news as well as the Rockies. Dante and I always find a way to get a little baseball in there. We'll do all of that next.
The Nuggets summer is heating up, and the biggest questions are still on the table. Will Nikola Jokic sign an extension or keep Denver holding its breath? Could a blockbuster Jamal Murray trade reshape the roster? And with Payton Watson hitting restricted free agency, what does the core look like moving forward? Stay locked in. Denver Sports has you covered all offseason long. Denver Sports, 104.3 The Fan.
When you've been hurt after a traumatic car crash, you don't need a sales pitch from an attorney with big promises and a loud voice. You need a team who fights for real results fast. That's why so many across the country choose the Berg Simpson Law Firm. Berg Simpson is nationally recognized, but is local right here in Colorado. So give us a call and let our team fight for the results you deserve today.
If you've been injured, call Berg Simpson for free now at 303-790-2525. BergSimpson.com. Good lawyers changing lives.
2026 is shaping up to be an amazing year to buy a home in Colorado. If you've been dreaming about getting into your first place, upgrading for more space, or downsizing for a simpler lifestyle, now is a smart time to start planning. And the first step is easy. Get pre-approved. With American Financing, you can get it done in 24 hours or less, so you'll know exactly what you can afford before you start shopping. Rates have been dropping, home prices are steady, and more homes are hitting the market. You could score the right home at the right price and lock in a monthly payment that fits your budget without stretching yourself thin. And unlike renting, every payment you make goes toward your future, not your landlord's. And here's a misconception that they love to bust. You don't need 20% down. Many buyers purchase with as little as 3% down. So if home ownership is on your 2026 goals list, make it happen. Call American Financing, 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000, or visit them online at americanfinancing.net. NMLS 182334, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
You know what you can trust? The protection you get when you bundle home and auto insurance with Progressive. You know what you can't trust? Everything else, apparently. Like when you saw that article that said that thing you eat every day is a superfood and great for your gut health. But then 30 seconds later, a different article warns you to avoid it and it's taking years off your life. Well, which is it? Kind of a big difference there. Anyway, bundle home and auto insurance with Progressive for reliable coverage in a reliably unreliable world. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Brandon Stokely here from my friends at Roller Auction. Do you have items you're looking to sell? Since 1976, Roller Auction has been conducting commercial and industrial auctions for Colorado government agencies, Fortune 500 companies, small business owners, secured creditors, individuals, and more. They have a large marketplace to showcase your assets, so don't wait. Visit rollerauction.com for a free consultation and turn those items into some cold, hard cash. Again, go visit them at rollerauction.com. That's rollerauction.com.
Tune in to Mile High Money.
My biggest goal is education. I come from a family of educators, and I want you to know the who, the what, the why, the when, the how.
Helping you achieve your ideal retirement.
The risk that you're taking, does that equal the return that you should be getting? And a lot of times, the answer is no.
Tune in to Mile High Money with Adam Moeller. Saturdays at 8 a.m. right here on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
Hey, it's Zach here. When it comes to home repairs or new construction, nothing should feel stressful or complicated. That's why I trust Homestrong. They make projects painless, affordable, and top quality from the very first scoop of dirt. If you need foundation repair, waterproofing, crawl space repair, egress windows, or have concrete concerns, call Homestrong. They can even turn your current crawl space into a fully finished basement within weeks. Call now or visit buildhomestrong.com for your free inspection and quote. Financing options available. You'll never go wrong with Homestrong.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And right now, new mattresses start at $1,500 during our 4th of July sale. Plus, get a free base with select mattress purchases. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, to a good life sleep.
It's Denver Sports Tonight on Denver Sports Station 104.3 The Fan.
All right, back in Denver Sports Tonight, Marcello Romano, Dante Gomez, the Mez, yourself on the RamosLaw.com text line. That's 303-713-1043. And also get involved with the show on the YouTube chat powered by Champ Honda. Spent a lot of that first segment talking about the Denver Nuggets, where they go from here. Listen, and that's the team that is probably... Listen, you could make a case. You can say, yeah, we can run it back with the Avalanche. And if you want to believe what Joe Sakic said in his postseason press conference, that it worked all season until it didn't. It worked until they had one bad week and got eliminated by Vegas. Nuggets have to do something kind of crazy to shake it up. So we'll get back into that discussion, or if you want to participate, go ahead and hit us up on that text line or on the YouTube chat. But
real quick, I have a question for you about the Nuggets. Payton Watson, what would be your ceiling of what you want to sign him to an extension to? Like if it comes out that the Clippers offered him $30 million a year, are you matching that?
That much?
There's reports that he might get 28 to 30.
No, I don't want to go that high. No.
So you lose him at that point.
Probably. What is Christian Brown's number at?
I believe he gets 25.
Yeah, man. I think ideally I'd love to have them both at like 20, but that's not a reality. So I think no matter what, he wants to get paid more than that dude, even though it's a teammate. So 26, 27, 30 is too much for me. I don't think they can do it.
I would be surprised if they do as well, but that's just what the reports are out there, at 28 to 30.
Listen, man, if he didn't have that 1 month of where he emerged big time, and I'm not going to try and discredit what he did because I think he was extremely great during the absence of Nikola Jokic when Jokic missed that time. Like, what were you thinking about paying him before? Or were you thinking about he's probably going to walk? Because you know how much money that guy made for himself in literally like 28 days. Of like seeing an opportunity, seizing the opportunity, going out there, and he's earned it. I just don't know if I could get that far. What would be your threshold?
Yeah, I think at 30, I would let him walk. Maybe 26. I think 26 would be my ceiling of, hey, if you get this kind of offer sheet, we will match it. Anything higher, we're going to have to say goodbye.
Problem is, dude, is like,
I think you're just...
You nailed it when you were talking about Jaylen Brown, about what you're going to need to be successful in the NBA now is you need length. He certainly provides that. You need some size. You need athleticism. You need a guy who's willing to play a little defense. And then what really took him over the top was we didn't know he was going to be able to do that offensively. Like, listen, we've always known that he's got the length and athleticism, and he's a tough defender. But when he really when he turned it on during Nikola Jokic's absence offensively, it changed everything. And I know when you look at it now, you're like, gosh, why didn't we pay him before? Nobody had a problem with Christian Brown's deal when he signed it. Like, we thought that he was only going to get better, and he didn't. And I think injuries were a concern for him this year as well. But that's one that's not going anywhere. And then if you really break it down, what interest do people have in the Nuggets? Who's the most intriguing piece that they could offer up?
I think it's Payton Watson. But if it's not him, Cam Johnson at least on a mid-level contract. I think he makes 21 or 23 a year. If anything, I think that's the kind of guy that the Nuggets should be trying to keep, though. They should be getting out of the business of paying Jamal Murray $50+ million. They should be in the business of getting, hey, we got Payton Watson making 25. We got Cam Johnson making 25. That's how you build a roster in the modern-day NBA, not by having an albatross of Jamal Murray making $54 million a year.
Your Jamal Murray hates on point tonight, Dante.
Is it hate or is it factual?
I think a lot. You probably don't like the guy. I mean, you can definitely.
Well, it's nothing personal. It's not that I don't like him.
You could back it up, but yeah, you mentioned him a couple times that it's you need to get rid of him. You're not far. Listen, I do a Sunday morning show with Kyle Reese. He's very much on the same page as you. Just doesn't see them winning another championship, especially with that piece being there.
Sounds like a man of reason.
I could see them doing it. Now, I think you need to have other pieces around that because the two-man game is not quite as successful as it was a couple years back. But
you can't afford to have the other pieces around him because he makes so much money.
Well, Nikola Jokic is pulling down a decent chunk too.
Yeah, but at least he earns it.
Aaron Gordon's number hasn't even kicked in, and what is he? 32?
I think he's 32.
32 a year. So, there's a lot of questions, tough questions that have to be answered for the Nuggets. But I was asking what's the most intriguing piece for them to play out as far as a trade partner, and it's Jamal Murray, it's Aaron Gordon. You brought up Cam Johnson. I think people love that because of the expiring contract. Well, why wouldn't the Nuggets like that too? Because you're going to get that freedom next year. And Cam Johnson was very up and down this year. We just lost Tim Hardaway Jr., who I thought was probably the most beneficial signing that they made last year, as far as some of the guys that they brought in with him, Cam Johnson, and Jonas Valanciunas, who will walk again. I think one of those two guys, if not both, have to go if you want to get a guy like Jaylen Brown. And that's Jamal Murray and Aaron Gordon.
I think Cam Johnson's probably going to be in that deal.
Sure, throw that. That one don't bother me. There's no nostalgia with that one.
Yeah, but it's not about nostalgia. It's about him actually being a contributor to his team.
Listen, born and raised here, we never thought that the Nuggets were going to win a championship. And there's highlights and memories that we'll have forever, and it includes Nikola Jokic, who certainly isn't going anywhere, Aaron Gordon, who his body's kind of betraying him at this point, and then Jamal Murray you don't win that finals without him. You just don't. Is Dante trying to tell me?
I think there's a lot of guys that also would have won the finals if they were in Jamal Murray's position.
Okay.
I don't think there's anything too special about what Jamal Murray brings to this team, especially in 2026.
Wow, you're saying that after he just had his best year and became an all-star.
Oh, he had a great year, and I'm happy that he finally was consistent throughout a regular season. But the roller coaster of Jamal Murray, that's not what you want when you're watching sports. You want somebody that you can count on. And I think there's too many talented, better shooting guards in the NBA.
So you think most of the time that what the result is going to be from him? That it's just not going to be up to par? Or do you mean it's because he'll be
so
good
inconsistent
and then bad,
yes,
and then good and then bad?
Exactly. There's too many stretches of bad basketball
I'd say
from him.
For the most part, his postseasons have, for the most part, I know you're going to come back at me with this, he's been a bit of a dog in the postseason.
The guy can't shoot 50%. I want my guards to shoot 50%. If they're making the max amount of money they can, I want them to be able to shoot 50% in the playoffs. And Jamal Murray can't do that.
50% overall?
Yeah, from the field.
Okay.
Is that too much to ask for a guy that's making $54 million?
No, well, dude, the money at that point is did he earn that money at some point or another to you?
No.
So he never.
I would not have signed him to a max contract. I would have had him in that $35 million range.
See, I disagree with you there. I think he earned it.
I think in the old CBA, he's a max player when you could kind of just hand out money willy-nilly. But in the modern-day NBA, when you have to be very diligent about how you're spending that money, he's not a max player. He's not Cade Cunningham. He's not, like I said, he's not Devin Booker. He's not Donovan Mitchell. He's none of those kind of guards. He is a tier below all of them.
But does have a championship.
He does have a championship. I'm not going to fault him for that. He played some occasionally really good games for the Nuggets that playoff run.
All right. We'll get off this discussion because I think you and I see that a little bit differently. I'm just saying it would be nostalgic for me to see both of them or either of them walk in a deal. But that wouldn't prevent me from doing a deal for a guy like Jaylen Brown. There's a lot of guys on this station that don't like that move at all. Like that just don't like that doesn't make sense to them. When there were people being very critical of Jamal up until this most recent year, how would that something like that work? Dude, Jaylen Brown has put himself in probably top 5 to 8 players in the league this past season.
Last year he had the 6th most first all-team NBA first team.
And I think at some point or another, if messages grow stale, then you kind of need a bit of a shakeup. So that's what you just can't go running it back.
You can keep living in the 2023 championship. I'm worried about the Nuggets next
I'm saying it won't prevent me. I'm just saying it would be sad to see either one of them walk. All right, we didn't get into the Broncos or the Rockies, but we will do that coming up next.
The countdown is on. Broncos training camp is less than a month away. Rookies report July 22nd. Veterans hit Broncos Park powered by Common Spirit on the 28th. Bo Nix is expected back at full speed. Sean Payton skipping joint practices to maximize every rep. And it all builds toward a season opener on Monday Night Football against the Chiefs. From camp battles to kickoff, Denver Sports has you covered. Denver Sports, 104.3 The Fan.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Is your financial advisor managing your risk or just a spreadsheet? Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. Many financial advisors rely on target date funds, which are one-size-fits-all portfolios that don't know your name, your family, or your goals. And that passive management can leave you dangerously exposed. At Trajan, we look at the whole picture, not just the stocks everyone else buys, but the private market opportunities most advisors ignore. And as fiduciaries, we build a strategy around you, coordinating your investments, tax strategy, and estate into one cohesive plan. Your financial life deserves more than just a generic portfolio. Real planning isn't a stack of statements. It's the confidence of knowing where your income will come from for the next 30 years. Good enough isn't good enough for your family. It's time for a change. Schedule your complimentary consultation today. Call 855-TRAJAN-1. That's 855-TRAJAN-1.
Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Private equity investments require accreditation. Other services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
All right, barbecue fans, Dan Jacobs with Jacobs Law and 303 Law 4040 with something special for you that we're cooking up for the best free meal in all of Denver. Now, in addition to my delicious smoked pulled pork that we serve on nearly a monthly basis and my copycat Chipotle chicken recipe that has a kiss of smoke and is fantastic. Our friends over at Old Style Sausage, a local company that makes these sausages that are custom made for the smoker. Mike Daborski over there is going to give us some. So this summer, they will join the menu at the best free meal in Denver. We're here to help. It's every first and third Thursday. You get free groceries and a hot meal for the night. No questions asked. You just pull up and pop the trunk. It's every first and third Thursday, Smoky Hill and Arapahoe Road, E Hills Church from 4 to 6 p.m. Help us spread the word.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55 plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it. Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of essentials. Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
One real Broncos talk. Cecil Lammy and Andrew Mason bring the heat on Orange and Blue Today. The most passionate intelligence and in-depth Broncos coverage in the game. Weekdays at 5 p.m. on the Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan YouTube channel. Hit subscribe at Denver Sports 104.3 and never miss another take. Orange and Blue Today, powered by Ramos Law, official injury law firm partner of the Denver Broncos. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Denver Sports Station 104.3 The Fan presents Denver Sports Tonight.
All right, final segment, Denver Sports Tonight here on 104.3 The Fan. Marcello Romano, Dante Gomez, and yourselves on the text line. The RamosLaw.com text line, 303-713-1043, and the YouTube chat powered by Shop Honda. All right, I'm getting ready for work this morning, Dante, and I'm watching Get Up on ESPN. I think it was on ESPN2 because Wimbledon's going on right now, so they overtake ESPN during Wimbledon. But I'm watching this, and I think it's Darren McCourty who is with ESPN, and Jason's the guy who's on NBC, correct?
Devin McCourty, yes.
Yeah, didn't I say, what did I say, Darren or
Darren?
Devin. Well, I meant Devin. Either way, he was asked going into a segment which trades are going to be the biggest impact in the 2026-2027 NFL season. And I think he listed 5 of the different ones there. You know what was absent from his nominee?
Jalen Waddle.
How does that happen?
Broncos flying under the radar.
Like nationally, I don't like you and I have had this discussion before. Like nationally, I don't think people like really I think they think the Broncos are just meh. Like, yeah, they had a magical year last year. They'll come back to earth this year, and they'll be kind of middle of the road.
They want to make sure they go out and prove it, and I think that's what the Broncos are going about to do this next season. So I'm actually not all that mad about it. They're going to be able to have that chip on their shoulder for one more season in a season coming off of being the number 1 seed in the AFC.
My point is that he had to submit that to like a producer. You know, like, here's my biggest trades that I think are going to be most impactful for this upcoming season. And so that's number 1, what he thought. Number 2, they probably went through a couple sets of hands on, let's check off on it. No one said, hey, you guys forgot about Jalen Waddle in Denver. Like, this is a pretty big move for us locally, and I think it made news, like, initially, and it was talked about as being a pretty big move for, like, a day. And now it's back to the Nuggets got a grade today, which was, a B in that area. Last week we found out as far as playmakers are concerned, they're ranked 23rd in the league when it comes to wide receivers, running backs, tight ends.
And
That's too low.
I agree with you, but a lot of people think that's fine where it's at, that they're going to have to go out and prove it. And then, of course, we look at Super Bowl odds and the Football Power Index, which you and I discussed a couple weeks back. What are we missing? Is something going to happen this season where like, oh, dang, I guess we should have seen it? Or are we getting blinded by the love and expectation that we have for this team locally?
I don't think it's either of those. I think that the Broncos are going to come out and produce, especially offensively. I think Jalen Waddle is going to be absolutely huge for this team. The more I think about his fit on this offense, the more I love it, to be honest. You're keeping Troy Franklin, who was a big part of last year's offense. You're relegating him to kind of wide receiver 3 there, but you still have Sutton. You're going to add Waddle to that. You got Dobbins coming back. I think this Broncos offense is going to take a huge leap forward from what we saw a year ago, but it's going to be so difficult for these opposing teams to decide how they want to defend the Broncos. Are you going to stack the box because J.K. Dobbins was absolutely killing it when he was healthy last year? Are you going to double Waddle and leave Sutton one-on-one? Are you going to double Sutton and leave Waddle one-on-one? Are you going to leave Troy Franklin on your third-best corner with no over-top help from a safety or anything like that? I think the Broncos are going to be able to dissect these teams coming up here.
Would you say J.K. Dobbins was killing it before the injury?
I think he was top 5 in rushing.
Yeah, but it still didn't look great, right? Like the overall aesthetics of the offense was still like, it's like it was clunky. Like it never really got smooth.
I think that's fair, so it's even room to grow. But I think that it was still very effective a year ago. I'll go with effective. Maybe it didn't look as pretty, but I think the run game was effective between him and Harvey. And now you have year 2 of Harvey being in this offense too. So I think there's a lot of weapons.
You didn't even mention Evan Ingram, but I'm assuming
I did that on purpose.
You don't believe in production from Evan Ingram this year?
I have to see it, to be honest. I'm out on Evan Ingram at this point. He can go out and prove me wrong. I hope he does. But going into the last 2 years, there just hasn't been enough production from him, and I don't see what's going to change all of a sudden by him getting older.
Wow. I think you're going to see a better production out of Evan Ingram this year, and I think a lot of that goes to how it's going to differ from Sean Payton calling the offense to what Davis Webb is going to be doing. I love the reports of from Phil and Zach going, it's smooth. It's pretty streamlined. They weren't stopping practices. And that's with a new guy kind of thrown into the mix and doing this for the first time. Not that there won't be any growing pains, because I think there will. But I think a lot of the problems that Bo Nix and that offense had was rhythmically they could never really get smooth because there was constant personnel changes and changing who was in the game, when they were in the game. You and I have discussed this plenty of times, but Bo Nix yelling over at the sideline, give me the bleep and play already. Let us get going. I think you'll see a big change in that front, and I think Evan Ingram will be utilized more to his skill set. So I'll do a little coffee bet with you on that.
Okay, we can do it. Is Davis Webb going to go out on the field and help Evan Ingram catch the ball as well?
Wow.
Is he going to help him get faster all of a sudden and get that separation?
I'm picking up on your sarcasm here, Dante. And I know you're laying it on pretty thick.
No, I think I think everything you said up until the Evan Ingram part, I absolutely agreed with. I think Davis Webb is going to streamline this offense. We're going to get Bo Nix at the line of scrimmage earlier. He's going to be able to dissect the defense and really pick out the matchups that he wants. Due to Davis Webb being able to get that play call in earlier, I think they're going to be more aggressive downfield. I just don't see Evan Ingram being a big part of this offense.
Name me an offense in the NFL that has pretty successful, but you don't know who their tight end is or if they're pretty dang good. Because if all those other things are going to happen like you said, and that you're really going to kind of handcuff a defensive coordinator on who's going to be the problem today, who am I trying to eliminate, that means other opportunities are available for a guy like Evan Ingram, which I don't think he completely forgot how to play football. He didn't play up to what we all kind of expected last year, but he's got an opportunity to kind of rectify that this coming season.
I don't think New England had a star-studded tight end. I don't think Green Bay had a star-studded tight end. I don't think Jacksonville did. Houston didn't.
Houston.
Did the Chargers? I don't know who's their tight end.
Here with Houston.
But they won 12 games. Would you not take winning 12 games? Oh, that's Cello. Oh, Cello wins 14 games for the Broncos once, and now we're 12 games.
You want to talk about a team that was carried by their defense.
All right, either way, I think there's a lot of teams that don't have elite tight ends that
I didn't say elite. I'm just saying pretty damn good, which is all we're asking him to be, right?
Yeah, that's fair. I would take average.
Yeah.
I would take average
pretty
production.
Damn good, which means we're pretty damn done. For Dante Gomez, it's Marcello Romano. You've been watching or listening to Denver Sports Tonight on 104.3 The Fan.
Colton, Drury, and Nichushkin all gone. New faces are already in the fold, with the entire blue line back as well after a Western Conference final sweep that still stings. How will the Avs retool around McKinnon for another cup run? Every trade, every signing, every take. Denver Sports has you covered all summer long. Denver Sports, 104.3 The Fan.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
7 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
You know, Shayna, when our grandparents opened Williams Jewelers in 1947, they had one guiding philosophy.
It's true. From a simple jewelry repair to that very important diamond engagement ring, we treat every customer like family.
Because you're sharing your life with us. That's the only way we know how to do business. I'm Dylan.
And I'm Shayna Williams. We're generational jewelers, creating heirlooms for the next generation.
Whether you're looking for that perfect diamond engagement ring, fine Swiss watch, or a custom piece, or that once-in-a-lifetime treasure,
we're here to make all your precious moments unforgettable. 3 generations of fine jewelry expertise right here in Colorado.
If you can dream it, it's here at Williams Jewelers of Inglewood.
Because we're not only one of America's largest fine jewelers,
we're Colorado's premier jeweler.
Williams Jewelers, we can make diamonds a part of your life.
Williams Jewelers of Inglewood, the official jeweler of the Colorado Avalanche.
Colorado, it's time to take our recycling to the next level. That's why Recycle-On Colorado is bringing you more curbside and drop-off service from peaks to prairies. Guidelines as clear as our skies, so you know what goes where. And the price? As free as gawking at bighorns on I-70. You deserve a recycling system you can count on, like your puffiest winter coat. And we're here to give it to you. Learn more at recycleon.com.